Hi guys, I'm throwing this together real quick. Please subscribe, like right now so you don't forget. Hit that notification bell if you want notifications. So right now, we are going over the verdict on the Kelsey Barrett case. And guys, I am so happy. I know you are too. Guilty on all accounts. I am very happy, and we got to talk about how this happened. You know, this is something we were all kind of, well, I knew that I felt that they would find him guilty. But I was worried about how guilty. And as the last minutes approached, I just started having this doubt, and it was probably nerves. As I know some of you did as well, because I read the comments, and I know y'all were scared to death for Kelsey Barrett and their family. No need to fret any longer, guys. Justice has been served, and all we have to contribute it to many factors, but the icing on the cake was definitely the inmate that come forward with 16 or 17 letters handwritten by Patrick Frazee with details of where to find these witnesses, people that he wanted this inmate to knock off. I'm finding out that one of those people he wanted to knock off was actually Cheryl Barrett as well, the mother of Kelsey Barrett. But my gosh, guys, thank God for Jacob. If he had not come forward, and thank God he did, because, you know, the bad side of him was like, I'm going to sell these. Who cares? Basically, because they're not going to do anything for me. He ended up coming forward. Thank God they made some type of deal for him. And he was able to collaborate. Put those puzzles in with glue. He was the glue of this case. He really was. Over KK's testimony and the two teenagers come in behind her, set the puzzle for the glue, and then he come in and glued it together. Thank God. So that helped, because it was hard to know if KK was telling the truth on some things. We know she still lied a little, but some of it was truth, and the two teenagers and that inmate help confirm that. And that inmate was the surprise witness. He was the moment we all were hoping for. So definitely what am I most happy about is the fact that Cheryl Barrett is seeing justice for her baby and for her granddaughter. This gives you a little bit of hope in the justice system, because we really felt from the very beginning of this case, it didn't start off too well. It looked like the investigators really wasn't taking it serious enough. Okay, so let's go over some of these articles. We are talking news after all. So the Colorado man has been convicted of killing the 29-year-old Kelsey Barrett, who was his fiance and the mother of his young daughter. Following this dramatic trial that brought a bombshell testimony from the witnesses, including the fellow inmate and his former girlfriend. As the trial of Frazee came to a close, prosecutors Monday described this case as deliberate, premeditated, cold, and cruel murder. They forgot to mention Satan. So the verdict was delivered just hours after closing arguments. It didn't take jurors long, did it, guys? Frazee was found guilty on all counts, including first-degree felony murder and 3 counts of solicitation to commit murder. Best of all, he was sentenced an hour later to life without parole plus 156 years, the maximum possible sentence. I'm pretty certain if they would have found Kelsey Barrett remains, he would have gotten the death penalty beyond reasonable doubt, right, guys? Check out this quote. Your actions were vicious, senseless, without reason nor explanation. Kelsey spent her last night caring for you. You repaid that kindness by viciously beating her to death, Judge Scott Sells said. She continued, after you beat her, you burned her body like a piece of trash. Your crimes deserve the absolute punishment available. Okay, so we're going to skip a little bit here. So in closing arguments, Monday, prosecutors said Frazee knew Bear, 29, was dead because he never attempted to contact her after November 25th. Prosecutor Beth Reed also reminded the jury that Frazee was captured on the neighbor's surveillance camera outside of Bear's condo at the same time he claimed he was 40 miles away tending to his cattle. Reed showed the jury the security camera photos that captured Frazee's red pickup truck driving in Woodland Park on Thanksgiving with a large black tote bag in the back of the truck. Quote, her beaten and battered body is in that box, which he keeps on the back of his truck while he eats Thanksgiving dinner. The prosecutor told jurors that they did not need to agree with Frazee's alleged motive in order to convict him of murder. She said the reality is, and this was brilliant, quote, only one person knows why, end quote. It really didn't take long for these jurors, guys, to figure out that he was guilty. I mean, they realized it. They were very convinced. So I wanted to go ahead and make this video for you guys because a few of you, when I posted it in the community, I think they're having difficulty getting the story. So I want to make sure that everybody knows what the verdict was for Patrick Frazee. Now we just have to deal with the nurse's sentence. You know, what is she going to get? She can get up to 3 years. Definitely, guys, if it was not for this inmate, oh my gosh, he's like... But yeah, I mean, finally, guys, we are seeing that justice, and there isn't a better feeling that I've had in a while when doing these cases, working on them for hours and hours and hours. Most every video that I make nothing off of, so it's just pure heart. But I did want to talk about what KK went over in court. So she said, I saw blood all over the floor. And she said, and I saw the residue over the wall. She testified there was residue on the front of the stove, the dishwasher, and on the floor where there were footprints. Now, if you guys still want me to keep doing it, I was going to cover some more on this case, but I'm thinking maybe we should wait until I can get all the court documents and things like that and put it together. I'll probably end up doing about a 2-hour, 3-hour live on that on my PC because this phone can't handle that much. I mean, there was a lot going on in this case. So I'm pretty sure right now that Cheryl Barrett is thankful it's over with, because I am as well, because I was worried it was going to run into another Thanksgiving. Last Thanksgiving, you know, they really didn't know what was going on. But this Thanksgiving, I was afraid it was going to run into that, and it was going to ruin the holiday even worse than it's already ruined, right? And I think that's what this court was trying to prevent, was, you know, trying to get it over with quickly so it didn't run into the anniversary. I am impressed with this judge because I was worried at first, especially the way this case started out. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. When this case first started, the investigators really went in there, not taking it serious. And this kind of triggered some alarms for me. Perhaps maybe they didn't think anything like that could happen in their town. But I'm telling you, I'm wondering if Patrick Frazee has done this before. He's so aggressive and it comes so easy for him. And when they speak about a motive, something tells me deep down inside, and this is coming from me, that he got off on this kind of stuff. I think he liked to control women and abuse them. He liked to push that button and see how far he can make them walk. I think he ended up graduating and from mental abuse into wanting to do more of the physical abuse. And one question I would have liked to ask KK is, and I know it's personal, did he ever show an increase in violence over the years during her personal time with him? I think she has the answer to that question, and I would love to know what it is. I think we all can agree that that baby is now safe, because if he would have gotten out, that was like one of the worst nightmares for a lot of us, was thinking that there was a chance that that baby would be raised by this psychopath. So thankfully, that baby is safe. Thank God. One of my other favorite moments was the fact that the judge said, you know, this woman loved you, yet you took away her trust. Rather, he abused her trust and took her life. And I think what got to me even worse was the fact that we heard that she asked him to please stop, and he did not. And I still say, KK, if you ever watch this video, that you know, and I know, the one thing that you didn't tell the truth about was the fact that you left evidence behind. And to her friends, you are terrible, terrible people. So guys, those people had to live this life that they made. They had to live in the karma they will receive and the choices they made in their life. Karma doesn't always come swiftly, but it always comes. So I hope they enjoy it. As for Kelsey Barrett and her family, they can look forward to a bright future now that they're able to get this kind of closure and justice. I just wish they could have found her remains. I still say that there's a chance, you know, they're somewhere in between Woodland Park and Idaho. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. So I'm just happy for the family, and I'm happy that it turned out this way, and I know you guys are too. And I want to say, guys, I am so thankful for you guys checking this story out. At the beginning, I was like one of the only people covering her story. And then it started to just explode. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. But there was those of you that were like me. We were the first to pay attention to the story. And we were there the entire ride. I just want to say thanks again for caring, guys. You're the one reason that these stories have people who care. Anyways, love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon.